Hello and good evening. Welcome to Cruising with the 4Bs.
That was very formal.
It was, sorry.
Yeah.
Just the two of us tonight. We can see the children through the balcony window at the moment, pulling moonies at us, which is lovely. So we thought we would just do a little bit of a review while everything was still really fresh in our minds. So tonight is our last night. Boom. We've been on a sea day today, which has been nice but really, really busy. But I think we've just chilled out and done our own thing, really.
We'll get to that then.
We'll get to that, yeah. So tonight is a little bit of a gala. It was wear your best, but Tom hasn't actually got changed yet, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
We'll be at my best.
Yeah, but I didn't bring any cocktail dresses with me this evening. So yeah, it's a gala night tonight. Meet the captain, who can I just add this to this part? Tom will probably tell me it's going to come further, but we'll add it now. We hadn't actually heard from the captain at all throughout our whole cruise until yesterday, and yesterday was day 6. And then we heard from him today.
It was MSC Seaview we were on. The itinerary was we were on here in July and August of 2022. We departed Barcelona and then visited Marseille, Genoa, Naples, Messina and Malta. Quickly, as we've touched on it, the ports are cool. We didn't get off in Marseille because we're going next year, and I don't know, someone will be able to tell us in the comments, but where we docked, I don't know if this is always the same, but we docked 45 minutes away and it would have cost us €50, and it was our first day, so we were planning to just get off and do an amble. But when we heard it was going to cost us €50 and 45 minutes, we decided to discover the ship, and we'll be discovering Marseille. We'll potentially twice next year, won't we?
Yeah, and as you said, we don't know if there was more than one port, and that's why actually it was going to be a 45-minute.
Yeah.
45 minutes to get to Marseille, which the kids would not have done anyway.
Genoa was good. It was a
Genoa.
Genoa. It was. We went on the free funicular. Funicular, yes,
Funicular.
which is very good. So, for more information about that, we'll let you know. And check our Instagram as well, because we'll have information on that. But and also obviously on the vlogs that you've seen in the previous weeks. But that was good. That was free, and then we had an amble round Genoa. The constant theme here is because it's been so hot. It's been in the mid-30s. That we've only really been off for about 2 or 3 hours, and that was perfect for Genoa because of the heat and the kids. They did get a bit fed up, so we could probably last longer, but it was nice. We did an amble round up the funicular for amazing views, which you already see. And then it was Naples. We didn't get off because we were only in there for 6 hours, so we wanted to discover.
And if you can give us anything in the comments, because we've not really had anyone that I know that's been to Naples. I've always heard really negative things about it. It looked like quite a pretty place. And actually, I have to say about Genoa, when we first got off and we were walking to the funicular, I said to Tom, I'm not really sure I like this town. But actually, when we got off and Tom was trying to get us back to the cruise ship terminal, we took a little bit of a detour and took a lot longer to get back. But actually,
nice.
we saw a lot more of Genoa, and it was actually a really beautiful place.
Nice port.
Yeah, a really nice port and a really nice marina. And actually, if we had had a little bit more time, we probably would have looked round. I did 16,000 steps in Genoa.
Yeah.
If you know of anything to do in Naples, because we will be going to Naples again next year. No, I'm sure we'll be going to Naples again at some point.
Messina was lovely, wasn't it? Now that is really in the port. You're right there, aren't you, Messina?
I can't even think where Messina was.
Yes, we did.
It was beautiful, yeah.
Yes, Messina was where we went on the little road train. So you're literally and you're hit by a load of people, aren't you?
Yeah.
As soon as you get off, and there's different open top tours that you can do.
Which you do get bombarded with, and actually when we got off we could see the bus going round, so Tom did a little look at the reviews before we got off.
And one of them they got 1 star.
Yeah, they weren't very good, so don't get off the bus would be my only thing.
Yeah, we got stunning views, which you'll see it. You can see now. Yes, yeah, the tram, and that was good. That was €40 for the family. That was really, really good. But we were saying that Messina is a perfect ambling around for 2 or 3 hours. A lovely little port, and you can just wander around, and you can probably see everything on foot apart from the high views. So if you just want an amble, get through the people that are advertising horses and all sorts and heads.
Horses.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really good port, perfect port to handle, and then finally Malta, which had the gun salute, which we saw the gun salute, which is excellent. It's only €1 up to the town.
Don't let them get you in a taxi, because the taxi guy said to us, "Oh, I'll take you up to the top for how many euros? 40?
€10.
Like 20 euros." He said,
Right.
"Oh, the lift, it cost 10 euros each." And it didn't cost 10 euros each at all. It was €1, and it was 8 minutes and 15 seconds to walk, and that was with Alice falling down a pothole and us having to stop to pick her back up again.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good going.
But the gun salute was brilliant. That happens at midday.
Yeah, again, really touristy, so get there a little bit earlier. We were there about 15 minutes before to get onto the railings to watch, and did have a lot of people trying to push past us and move the kids out of the way so that they could get in and have a view. So yeah, you just have to.
And then you went. Ernest wasn't feeling too good, so me and Alice walked around town. It's a really lovely town. There's loads of like restaurants and stuff to sit out, and there's loads of shops. Beautiful scenery, which you can see now. But yeah,
it's a nice Starbucks when you first get off.
Yeah. So that was really good. And I really want to see more of Malta. That was really, really good. So we really want to see lots more of Malta, and hopefully we can return.
Yeah.
Because if you headed round the corner, there was the rest of the town, which is really nice.
Yeah, it was really, really beautiful. Really
Yeah,
beautiful.
so that's your itinerary. It's an excellent itinerary. You have 5 ports in 7 days.
Yeah, pretty busy. We're not used to having so many ports when we go on a cruise, and we're also not used to being in the Med, so it's quite different for us, really. But anyway, on to our next topic of conversation.
Just quickly, before to do with the itinerary, that the whole time we've been on here, it hasn't felt like we've been on water.
Oh no. So if you're a first-time cruiser, perfect. Like, as you can, I don't know if you can see behind us, but we're now 7 o'clock in the evening, and the water is just so still. Last night when we were having dinner and looking out, literally the kids were like, "Oh, the water just doesn't even look like it's moving." It was so still.
Yeah.
And
most
just
of the time you can see land as well.
Yeah, and normally our kids, especially Alice, she gets really bad travel sickness, so normally she has to have bands on and take a travel sickness tablet every day, and she has not mentioned once.
Compared to the cruise at Christmas down in the Atlantic,
Yeah.
it is completely
She was
different.
pretty sick on that one.
Yeah, completely. So 100% if you're first on grid there, go around the Med is a perfect start. Embarkation, let's move on to. Was
Yeah,
good
it
in
was
Barcelona?
really
efficient.
Barcelona, really straightforward. So you've probably seen one of our previous videos. Of course they have. We had the hopper bus, which we had for a 2-day period. So we used that on our second day, and we
Never won
took
away
the
Spain?
bus. No, and we took the bus straight to the cruise terminal. We got off at the Christopher Columbus stop. However, get off at the next stop. If you're going to the cruise terminal.
We'll put a little map in here.
Yeah.
It is really close to Christopher Columbus, but there is a different bus.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was really close, but when you're lugging 3 suitcases and 2 kids across the main road, it was a little bit hectic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then straight onto the cruise bus, which took us straight to the terminal. We probably stood outside for about 2 minutes, showed our
Took
COVID
luggage off.
passes, they took our luggage, then we went inside, queued up, probably about 20 minutes, if 20 minutes. There weren't too many people, and that's another really different thing for us on this cruise, is that people are getting on and off at every single port. So actually there's not thousands of people embarking at the same time. There was probably about 300 people embarking in Barcelona, so it was a lot quicker, straight through duty free.
Just a quick mention, that is a regular thing with MSC. If
Yeah.
you've never travelled on MSC, they do. Not the ones from Southampton. Southampton tend to be the same people get on and off in Southampton. You might have a few there, but on the Mediterranean ones, they go on and off in all of the ports. So whatever ports you're on, every single time you're at a port, there are people getting on and off. But I haven't really noticed it. You don't notice people.
No,
going,
you
but-
don't notice it at all.
But every single port, they do have people getting on and off. So just a reminder, that's an MSC thing. That's what they do.
Yeah, and actually it does make for a very efficient embarkation, doesn't it,
Yeah.
when you're getting on. As I say, so we were allowed in our room from 2 p.m. We were on board by 12.
Yeah.
I think we were in the buffet by
So
12.
no complaints about it. It was very
No.
efficient and works really well. They do this itinerary from April until the end of October, same one. So they're well rehearsed in it. Do you know what I mean? It's this ship just does the same thing constantly.
Yeah.
So yeah, brilliant.
Which is probably why we didn't hear from the captain at all. He's probably actually not really been doing much. He's probably let everyone else.
So every
take
night
over.
when they introduce the entertainment, they're always like, "Goodbye if you're leaving tomorrow. Hello if you just got on board." And I did think, is this going to affect the cruise? Because a lot of times on a cruise, you sort of see the same people over a week, 2 weeks, but it's so large anyway that I don't think it makes any difference anyway. So
I think I've probably seen the same people about 3 times.
Yeah. So it doesn't make a difference. The ship, once you got on board, what's been the impression of the ship? I've really liked it.
It's massive.
It is massive.
I think compared to Virtuosa, so Virtuosa is really open plan, and I found my way around Virtuosa quite quickly, whereas this is more lots of nooks and crannies, so it's trying to get your bearings of where everything is, and there's bars here, bars there, lots of outside space on this ship.
Lots and lots. It's made for hot.
Which again, with Virtuosa going on there from Southampton, I mean, this is our first hot cruise that we've been on, really.
Like all cruises.
Like for the whole cruise. And normally we're walking around, aren't we, and going, that'd be really nice if it was warm. It'd be really nice to sit there if it was warm. So yeah, with this one, everything is very much outside.
Yeah, lots of deck space.
Very, very Mediterranean.
Yeah, the buffet has got a massive. It's probably.
We haven't sat inside once, and that would be my one thing as a recommendation. If you're going to the buffet in the evening, normally a buffet in the evening on a cruise ship, it's mental. And don't get me wrong, it is mental on this one. But you can sit outside, so you can get away from it all, and actually it then feels like you're in a completely different place.
The decks up there, it's completely made for, like, this ship wouldn't go from Southampton.
No.
Because you'd obviously...
It'd be pointless.
Yeah, because they maximise the outdoor space. Like this, for example, in November's going now to South America when it gets to November. And then it will come back to the Med. So the whole time they maximise the outside space. So we've got, as I said, the buffet area, the pool, but there's loads of facilities on here. You've got the aqua park, which the kids absolutely love.
Yeah, it's a really good aqua park.
Very, very. The best is better than Virtuosa and the other ones that we've been in. It's got the
3
bowling,
pools.
the F1, which we haven't used this time because we did last time, and it's an extra charge. A massive atrium. So there's, everything is covered. It is a ginormous ship.
The spa. The only bit we haven't seen is the spa, isn't it?
We sort of take a look. Yeah, we haven't been down there, but again, that's big as well.
Yeah, it's got a good gym.
Think of everything at sea, barring go-karts. I think it's got everything you could have at sea, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's a really, really lovely ship.
Yeah. Look, as you said, it's less open plan. There's more nooks and crannies.
Yeah, so it kind of feels like you're not. I don't know. It's not claustrophobic, because a lot of people ask you that when you go on a cruise. Is a cruise not claustrophobic? It's not at all. It's very open, but you can get away from it. So if you want to get away from the rat race kind of thing, and you don't want to be in a really busy area, and then you can take yourself off somewhere.
Always on a cruise.
Yeah, and there's entertainment. I mean, we haven't really, because again, it's been so hot. So we've been in the water park with the kids or in the pool. We haven't really taken part in much of the entertainment, have we? And again, because it's the Mediterranean. And being MSC, you've got lots of different nationalities. So anywhere that you
onto
go,
the clientele.
So onto the clientele, yeah. So anywhere that you're going on the ship, you've got about 10 different languages before you can actually hear what's being said.
You've got Spanish, you've got French, you've got Italians. I'd probably say British people probably less than 5% all.
Yeah.
Which is not great, is great.
Most of the stuff is in English. And like all of the songs, like a lot of the shows that we've been to, they sing everything in English, which for me, I feel a little bit bad for, because like last night we went to a show and they were singing everything last night was in English, wasn't it?
Because they're so popular, isn't it? Yeah. But
and then it didn't really get the same reaction, I don't think, as it would have done if it was in another language.
Yeah, true. But the clientele is pretty much all Mediterranean countries, Italy, Spain, France, and that means that everything is later. Yeah. So dinner, we couldn't. Here's a little thing for you. Normally on other cruises, if you get early dinner, you can move it, and we normally can move it to like 8 o'clock if we got early dinner. but we couldn't because it's absolutely full, because everyone's eating later. There's a 10 o'clock sit-in, there's an 8 o'clock sitting. All the entertainment, like the main party of the evening, most nights starts at 11:30, 4 to 12. Yeah, there is, yeah. It's midnight, so we can sit on our balcony. If we close the balcony, it's fine, we can't hear it, but you can hear the parties, and we've been there a couple of times, and the parties are massive. You know, there was in the daytime a snow party, which was really popular, and the tropical parties. But yeah, midnight.
It starts. So any parties don't start until 11:45.
Yeah. So that's with the Clientele. That's different in the fact of everything's later. It's a very Mediterranean cruise, and what I was thinking, I was telling you earlier, is the fact of this 7-day cruise. I know you could do more than the 7 days. It's like you go, don't you? All the parties are crazy. There's stops every day, so everything is done 100 miles an hour, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, so just be prepared that things are later. Now, it's such a big ship, there's probably lots of people who do go to bed early, and there's probably lots of people that get up early, but we've been getting up 9, 10 o'clock. We've been getting in with the everything's
10,
later.
11 o'clock.
You know, yeah, eating later. I think it's because also heat as well.
Yeah,
you know,
it's really, really hot.
Yeah, so everything's pushed on. But it's a really good mix of Clientele, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really good mix of there's probably no nationality that's not on
No.
here. And I know some people moan about the different announcements, but I just sit there and admire that they know all the languages.
Yeah, they are pretty spectacular, a lot of the staff. And a lot of them you'll find that they will try and speak English, and you'll find the Spanish, Italians, Germans, they will all try and speak English to the bartenders and the waiting staff, because actually that's the most common language for them all to speak.
So yeah, you are going to have to put up with the fact they do announce everything in their language, but it's full of people.
And I suppose my only, whether you're going to kill me for saying this, I suppose with British people, we're very polite in this, and it's just a cultural thing completely, but in the sense of when you're queuing for something, you take it in turns, you don't just push in. And I found a lot on this cruise that I'll be waiting at the bar and someone just pushes right in front of you and gets served first, whereas for me I would always say, oh no, that person was first. It's a
but then you've got to join
doggy kind of thing here.
Yeah,
and actually we're now day 7 and I'm like, do you know what, sod you, I don't care that you're here
got
waiting
to,
for me.
Yeah, you've got.
So you have got to just get in there, because otherwise you're never going to get anywhere, and you're never going to get served anywhere. 100%.
But yeah, that's so gone to the capacity. Now obviously we're this is the first sort of year of cruising coming back. We're in the summer holidays, we're in the school holidays, it's the middle of summer. We didn't expect to come on here and be the only ones on here. We knew it was going to be busy, but as you can see from these clips,
crazy busy.
Yes, it is really busy. It's sometimes when you're walking about it's affecting me, but I think the cruise ship can cope.
Yeah, I think so for me, I'm the type of person that in massive crowds I get quite anxious, I suppose you could say. And I don't like feeling like there's too many people around me. I just kind of want to get away from it. So there's plenty of places that actually, if you don't think, oh, it's a hot day, I want to be by the pool all day, then you're fine, because you can go off to a different bar and you can sit, you can go into the atrium, because no one's inside really in the daytime. Everyone is outside.
So that's why,
but
the pools are packed.
But if you want to sit by the pool, I mean, like, looking in the pool, literally, it is like a tin of sardines. There's not even a gap for you to slither in to get into the pool, is there at any point really? So hence the reason I think on some of the days we decided not to get off the ship, because actually that was our only way of enjoying the pools.
And that is the key to it.
Yeah, don't get off every day.
If you don't get off, and also because there's people leaving the ship as well, there was times, I would say probably 4, 5 out of the 7 days, there was a period between 10 and 4 that, you could pretty much do what you want. You could go straight on the slides, you could do so. It was
definitely.
Only the times that were busy were between probably 4 or 5 in the evening to about 7 or 8 up on the pool and the aqua park and sea day. But then that's expected, sea day. But as far as getting drinks, you could go straight to the bar.
Drinks, and they're always coming around asking you what you want. Every time we've been to a bar, they've been straight on it getting you a drink.
Buffets are crazy at some points, but you just sort of got, as you said, go get your stuff, and then you get outside, and then you head outside, and there's no one there. Do you know what I mean? We've had dinner at the back of the ship, so I think it's very busy, but it's not busy as in they can't cope. They're used to these sort of numbers, so I don't. But I think
Just don't expect to have a sunbed every day, is all I'd say.
I would say it's not the cruise for you if you don't like the heat and you don't like crazy busy. I would go at maybe different times, but you can't really go in the middle of summer on a year that when cruising's completely back on a massive ship and complain about business.
But if this, so is this at capacity now?
I would, yes, it must be close to.
If this isn't at capacity, I wouldn't want to cruise at capacity.
Yeah, no, I think it must be. This would be one of the peak weeks.
Yeah, it is crazy busy. But again, as we said, like today, so today's a sea day, so literally every man and his dog has been out by the pool, but we haven't. We've kind of used our balcony today. We've been in the atrium, we've been in some of the other bars, had a drink there.
Yeah, there's always places.
And went to the water park this morning. The kids did their thing for about 2 hours, and we went to the restaurant for lunch where it was a lot quieter than the buffet.
Yeah.
So it's fine. You can get yourself away from those massive crowds.
100%.
Which takes us on to food.
Food, yes.
Food. So if you've watched any of our previous vlogs, especially on MSC. So on Virtuosa, I was really not very impressed by the food. However, this cruise has way surpassed any of that. The food has been pretty amazing, actually.
Very good.
So I like, and I don't know if it's because we're in the Mediterranean. I'm going on Virtuosa again in September, so I will be able to give you a bit of a better review comparing the two. But the buffet in the evenings, lunchtime and at night, all fresh. There's so much variety, so many different things to try, loads of fresh salads. So for me,
food has gone up a notch. Yeah, 100%,
definitely. The MDR, we've only eaten in lunchtime once and lunchtime twice, and dinner time once. Weren't overly impressed by the MDR.
Yeah, we would have. If you've seen any of our previous, we normally always go in the main restaurant in the evening because we love it. We love sitting down and thing. But because of the problem of not being able to change 6:15, we're never ready at 6:15. You know, we're still in the pool, and so we couldn't change it to 8 o'clock. We're not having 10 o'clock. That would be just be crazy late. So that's why we've chosen the buffet. It's been a good choice, I think.
And I think especially because you can go outside, you feel like you're in a restaurant and you're just going outside to eat. I think if we were sitting inside eating the buffet, it would be a bit of a different story. Yeah,
the main restaurant was a little bit of a disappointment. We did the upcharge restaurants as well. The first night was the Asian market, which was
the fusion.
Fusion, really good. We've seen a review on that.
The steak was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Your lamb chops were really good.
The butcher's cut was pretty good. It didn't like, I wouldn't say crazily wow me. I thought it was good, and I loved the cheesecake at the end. It was good. It's quite overpriced, I think, but I'm so glad we did it.
So that was €160, and that was just for me and Tom because the kids had the children's menu.
Yeah, you need to tell them if you don't want to pay for kids, you've got to tell them that you want the normal kids menu.
I wouldn't really. I don't know.
I'll do Asian market again.
I think the food that we ate in the Asian market, I would say was definitely worth it. I would have paid over £40 each for that food, whereas butcher's cut I wouldn't have paid.
Next time, hopefully, we can do the
takoyaki.
Yeah. So that was good. So food has been really enjoyed it, and the surprise has been buffets. And if you'd seen all our previous vlogs, you'd know that a lot of times we're not a fan of the buffet. So well done for that one.
The only thing I would say again, because with everything, it is the Mediterranean way of life. So in the mornings, if you go in the buffet past 10:30, oh my god, it's just
crazy time.
Again, as I said, I don't like crowds, and I'm just like, just get me out of here. And at night time again, any time after 8:30, it's ridiculously busy, and you do have to just grit your teeth and push past everyone because that's what everyone else does.
Drinks, just quickly go. Drinks, good. They do lots of things. Get the package before you come. It's much better value.
Yeah. Everyone's really surprised that we've got the top package.
Yeah, they don't seem to. Most people got the easy package, but it's but get it beforehand.
Yeah.
Get a deal.
Again, we're not sure if it's because of Jan, our travel agent, hi Jan, that we've got such good deals. We're not really sure, but so our cruise will we've got included basically is the top notch. So, for instance, I asked for an espresso martini, and the guy looked at my card and he went, "You're top. You can have Grey Goose vodka."
Yeah.
Rather
So
than
take full
absolute.
advantage of that. Make sure they know. Entertainment, really, really good.
Amazing
Again,
entertainment.
Yeah.
Compared to the last time, last time it was a bit like,
It shows you
again,
what's going on.
if you've seen our previous MSC reviews, it was a bit like, what is going on? The singers on this one are fantastic. Really, really
Excellent
amazing.
singer.
Amazing
really,
voices.
really good. Yeah, really, really good. And the crowd as well. I think that's another culture thing. The crowd get so into it, don't they? They're clapping and they're cheering. Like, the atmosphere in there is brilliant. But the four singers are amazing. The dancers are fine, but it just doesn't make any sense.
A lot of the time you don't really know what the dancers are doing or why they're involved in the show at all. Some of them are like, they need to be there, but other times you just think actually the singers are
the singers, they still show. One night we went to, we'll list all the shows, and you've seen all the shows, but every time we've gone, and one night we went and it was the Italian songs, and I sat there, and when they came out and said it was going to be an Italian song, I was like, oh god, this is going to be a long 30 minutes, and it probably was the best show I've seen.
And we knew half the songs as well.
The voices were amazing. So yeah, and around the ship there's always, as we said before, we're sort of pinning ourselves on this, but the entertainment's always good. It's lively, isn't it? There's always they're obsessed with dance classes for some reason.
Loads of dance classes going on. 5 a day, I think, normally.
Shows. There's loads of activities.
Quizzes.
You're not going to get bored. You can find loads to do, and obviously you've got the aqua park and everything. So it's as I said, it's a bit like, some people say like Vegas, you only go for like 3 or 4 days. It's a bit like probably a Mediterranean cruise. You love it for 7 days, and then you're getting off. You pack it all in, which is really good. Quick thing on Kids Club, we can't review it. They went once. They kind of enjoyed it, but it's because it's people getting on and off all the time. It's very hard for them to make friends and stuff. So they,
and I think because again of all the different nationalities, they weren't.
Which should be a good thing, but
but they just weren't overly keen, and actually they've enjoyed being with us, and we've kept them.
Yeah.
We've kept them. We've managed to keep them entertained ourselves, basically.
But if your kids can really get involved in it, it's open all day. It's open to 9 to 11.
Yeah, and a lot of the Spanish children.
You can come and go as well. It's
They're
unusual. You can sign yourself in and out. So we've seen our little kids, probably about 5 or 6, walking about with their cruise card, and they can just sign themselves in and out. So again,
it's a really cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, our kids, Alice wouldn't even go and find the cabin on her own, whereas Ernest is a bit more confident, isn't he?
One big negative, which doesn't always happen, we've heard this quite a lot on MSC, is the upselling. Like when we first arrived on the first day, rather than welcome to the ship, it was, would you like to see this menu?
Do you want photos? Do you want to come to this restaurant? Do you want to come to
it's mainly the restaurants, isn't it? We even had in the restaurant the other day a guy coming round with a raw steak saying, would you like us to have this tomorrow night? We could upsell it.
I'd rather you cooked it
Yeah,
first.
I reckon we've been asked about upscale restaurants. I even think I thought it would be someone in my bed when I opened up last night.
3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times a day. And I don't blame the people doing it. They're all very polite, they're very nice, but it's obviously... And when we went to Virtuoso on May, we didn't get asked once. So I don't know whether sometimes if the sales of the upcharge restaurants are down, that they really push it. But it's been everywhere, isn't it?
And actually, but then it puts you off going to them. So when we first got on, we did go to 2 of the upsell restaurants. But actually, they had come to us and asked us, and then we spoke about it afterwards and said, well, actually, we would quite like to try one. But because they try and give you the hard sell, it's really off-putting. So actually, I did chase it, didn't I? And say, actually, could we just have a look at the menus and see what the costs are? But literally, we had a guy the day after we'd been in Butcher's Cut who had served us, who was like, oh, would you like to come to this restaurant? And we were like, we were there last night, but thanks.
So you'd be warned, it might... I'm not saying it always happened, because it didn't happen to us, and other people we've put on Facebook said I wasn't asked once. So it may be tending on what cruise you're going to. If sales are down, maybe they will really, really push it. So don't mind being asked, but 15 to 20 times, and like everywhere you go is a bit too much. But yeah, that's the only real negative. In summary, had a good 7 days?
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It's been a really different experience, I think, for us, for a cruise, because again, it's in the Mediterranean, it's hot. We're used to going on a cruise where the weather's not great and you're inside a lot of the time, so it has been
The views have been
really,
amazing.
it's been
Best
really
views.
relaxing. I'm really disappointed I've not seen any dolphins.
No, I know. But I think if heat's not your thing, then I would go in the shoulder months, May, sort of September, October, because is intensely heat.
Stifling, and like we don't mind the heat, but actually I think for the kids, we're used to going on holiday in winter months really, aren't we? And in the autumn, so they're not used to a summer holiday, and I think for them they've really struggled with the heat. As Tom said, when we went to Malta, and this was just like, what tummy ache, I just want to go back to the room, I just want to chill out. And even for me, I do like the heat, but I have felt sometimes get a bit craggy with each other.
So that's a warning. And I would say,
especially if there's a lot of things to do in the ports. Like I think the ports that we've been to, had it not been as hot, we would have got off and done a lot more.
But there's about, I would say, 3 of them at least. Genoa, Messina and Valletta, they're brilliant ambling ports, so you can wander around. Yeah. Amazing week, loved it. We're going to head to the captains. Thank you. If you have any questions on Seaview, then please pop them in the comments below.
Yeah. Just one last thing, on Sea Day they do a lot of deals on perfumes and jewellery and bags. So this evening I got some very nice Hugo Boss perfume for €20.
So 2 questions for you. Would you do a Med cruise again?
100%.
Would you do MSC Seaview again?
No.
You wouldn't? Why not?
Because I've done it once, I don't need to do it
Done
again.
once. Yeah, I could see it, yeah. Well, but that's from us. We always do different ships, so I would do it again. I would do it again.
I would, like, if there was an amazing deal, then yes, of
Yeah.
course I would, but I wouldn't be...
There's so many ships out there.
I wouldn't be running back to
Okay,
do it
I'll
again.
rephrase the question. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it, especially for families. As long as
You've
you're...
got to go with the flow.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're quite laid back and you're just quite happy to just go with the flow, just see whatever happens, then definitely, if you're the type of person that likes complete organisation and knowing where everything is, what's happening and what you're doing 24/7, then I wouldn't recommend it. But if, like us, you're just quite happy to amble along and just go with the flow, then
So we're going to go enjoy our last night on board.
Yeah, we are.
You,
all packed.
just let you know that the whole of this, Ernest has been doing dancing in the window and been doing mooning. Yeah.
We've got pretty good poker faces.
No more when we get home, and no more mocktails. Makes me go crazy.
No more mocktails.
No more mocktails for
fizzy
them.
drinks.
Yes.
Water only.
If you haven't caught our Embarkation, check it out there. And we'll see you soon, because next week will be the start of your trip on Virtuosa.
Oh, will it?
Yeah. So Rachel has been in intense training on how to use the camera. It could be a classic. It could be a classic, so that'll be next week. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching our review of MSC Seaview. See you soon on Cruising with the
4Bs.